Okay, thank you for your patience. It is always something, isn't it? So I'm going to demonstrate how to calibrate an audiometer. And I understand that you likely not going to calibrate it yourself even after graduation becoming a clinician, because most of the time you will have hired professionals or companies to calibrate them for you. Our clinic hired company. It was Golden Stove. I think still is Golden Stove, right? To calibrate all the audiometers, OAEs, ABRs, all the devices. So, but I still think for education and for knowledge, you should know those, not in great details, but at least you know those, and at least watched me doing that for one time. Hopefully you have some idea of it, and down the line in a few years later, when people calibrating devices for you in your clinic, you will be able to communicate with them. So when they say things, they say jargons, you will be able to understand those. Okay. All right. So the target is to calibrate audiometer, and to calibrate an audiometer. Okay. Hello. Okay. And we need a sound level meter. I'm trying to see where the camera is. Audiometer. Okay. And this is a fancy audiometer, as you can see. It's obvious it's for the lab. Nowadays, you don't need a fancy device like this. A cell phone, a simple cell phone, will do. Especially, I think for iPhone or high-end Android phones. When the microphone is good, it has high quality. That's all you need. You just need a high quality microphone. Basically, that's it. All the rest, software and app will deal with that for you. And so, just so you know that nowadays people are switching to using cell phones to calibrate. So this is becoming out of date. And if you attend ASHA conference or similar, there are some booths for sound level meter companies. They do sell software, hardware, but their focus is shifting toward app software. Because you can even download some free apps, and some of those are really good. I'm not kidding you. So just so you know that it's and this is the old school way of doing it. But the good thing is we can connect accessories to calibrate different transducers. And as you can see this, and it's battery powered. I need to make sure it's under the camera. It's battery powered, but as you can see, there's no battery because I don't use it on the field. I use it in my lab. When I'm in my lab, I have access to power outlet, so I never put battery in it. But if you put battery, then you can go on the field and do your calibration over there. Right. So, and because of that, I would need to connect this sound level meter through this cable. Hello. Okay. And to a computer, kind of stealing the juice from the computer. Okay. Okay. And now it's connected, and I need a microphone in front, and there's no microphone right now. So I need a microphone, and here is a 1/2 inch microphone. The diameter is 1/2 inch. Okay. And it doesn't fit right away, so we need a cable. Let me put the microphone to somewhere safe. The cable, you just align the dots wrong way. Okay. Align the dots. Here you go. Okay, align it, and this guy, the end, the cable is this, and this is an amplifier that will, when the sound comes in through, we will connect like this. When the sound comes through, this will amplify the sound waves. So align the dots and then put it in, and then thread the microphone onto it. The microphone has very fine threads to create airtight. I mean, imagine if the thread is very big and rough, then there will be gap, and it will not be airtight. So in order for it to be airtight, the thread must be very teeny tiny and a lot of them. Does that make sense? And because of that, because the thread is very small, it's very, very fragile. It can be broken very easily. But anyway, so this is a microphone, and because I don't have a, you see the YouTuber, they have a big puffy kind of protector, and I don't have that. So when I speak, I will speak away from the microphone. If otherwise, I will spit on it. It will be bad. Does that make sense? Because I don't have the protector here. But this is nice. Then you can kind of connect it, move it, connect to anywhere you want. Okay. And let's calibrate the insert earphone first. Oh yeah, by the way, on Canvas I still have the video recordings from 2023 and 2024, and feel free. I mean, at the end you can decide which video you want to watch. It all depends on how many mistakes I made today. Last year was pretty bad. I feel embarrassed. And so anyway, hopefully I will do better job this year. You be the judge. Okay, and this is the insert earphone. As you see, I am a naughty boy. Whenever I get something, I tear them apart, and then try to put them together. Obviously, without success. And all the transducer in my lab has been modified for my purpose, and this is no exception. But when I was doing the modification, I probably did something wrong. It was intermittent. The output was intermittent. I must have done something wrong, but I couldn't figure out where. So I don't use it for research. I use it for demo for this lab, and I put 3 dots on it, so I know that's my secret notation. Whenever you see any device with 3 dots on it, don't use it. It's intermittent. All right. So this is the insert earphone modified, and let's plug into the insert lag ear channel. Okay. And let's say 60 dB. And okay. Right. So now the audiometer is ready, and the sound level meter and microphone is also ready. But before we can use the sound level meter to calibrate any sound, we have to make sure the sound level meter is not off calibration, because they said the previous time I used this probably is 1 year ago or half a year ago for another project. So I have to be honest, I use this very often in the early days, but becoming less and less frequent these days. So I need to make sure this is calibrated. So how do I make sure of that? Then I need, oh yeah, before that I need to show you another thing. Is let me go to here. So as I mentioned, nowadays the app is dominating almost everything, and this hardware, this sound level meter comes with an app. You can see from the monitor, and because I haven't turned the power on, let me turn the power on. It's gonna take a while for it to turn on. Oh yeah, so as you can see, it started to power up, and it's going to take some time. So this is probably the first mistake I did today. I should have powered it out as soon as possible. Anyway, so yeah, let's count how many I did. Okay, and so this model is and it needs to be the hardware needs to be ready for the software to work. Yeah. Okay, And in the meantime, what else can I do? Oh yeah, I can tell you about this. You see this little tiny kind of a Wi-Fi stuff is a Bluetooth device. You can connect it. It's connected to Wi-Fi, to the Wi-Fi in Global Center. In other words, I can control this sound level meter using my cell phone. As long as my cell phone has this app, the same app. And Cindy and I purchased this is a newer version. I think I purchased it 3 years ago, something like that. Previously, I used a very, very old one. And anyway, so this new one, the app you see on the computer, I can install the same app on my cell phone. As I mentioned, nowadays everything is very advanced. So I can program, I can control this sound level meter using my cell phone here in Global Center. Or if I want to measure how loud it is on Overdale Lake during the night, so in the forest, I can put a sound level meter or a microphone over there and then cover it, no one will know it. I can control it using my cell phone at home. Am I making sense? And so that way I don't need to record sound 24/7. I mean, if I want to, I could, but I could only I can control it on and off, things like that. Record, not to record. So I can only record during specific times or things like that, and control settings. It's really cool. I can control it when I'm in Taiwan. Imagine that. Does that make sense? So it's really a technology is very different than 10 or 20 years ago. Very different. Okay, now it's ready. All right, so now you can see the device is not grayed out anymore. And I select the device. This model is A31C. Update the time, okay? Because my sound level meter has no battery, the time is always off. And so now it's good. And let's see. Okay, live view. And the first one, there are 12 pages you can scroll down, but the first one is the live view. The first one is kind of the ongoing sound pressure, and as you can see, it's first of all, let's see if it's responding. I mean, you can see there are 3 numbers here. L stands for intensity level. Again, this lab is so you have some experience for the calibration. Hopefully, it will help you to digest the content when you watch the videos for topic 3. Does that make sense? There are pros and cons either way, whether I do the lab before you watch the video or after. So during some years that I do the lab after you watch the video, then when you watch the video, you will curse me because it will be much easier if I have seen it once, then the video will make much more sense. But if I do it the other way around, like this today, then there will be a lot of jargon. Say L, A, L, Z, F. What are those? You haven't watched the videos. You haven't watched the slides. So that's possible either way. Does that mean either way? But I will do my best. So I still think doing a demo is probably a bit better. I will just need to explain the acronyms or jargons briefly and quickly, and make sure you get it in plain English. So L is intensity. A is different weighting systems. A weighting is for softer sounds. We can change it here. Let's go to menu and select any level. So they say intensity level, we can use say A weighting. And A weighting, we have fast reaction or slow reaction, F and S. EQ stands for equivalent. and I don't know what that is. I never use it, so I don't care. So I know the first three. The fourth one I have no idea. And then another thing, you have the C weighting. A weighting is for softer sound. It attenuates sound quite a bit. Just so you know that. C weighting is for loud sound. It attenuates sound not as much. And for same thing, you have fast update or slow update or equivalent update, things like that. And you also have Z weighting for intensity level. Z weighting, Z is the first letter for 0. That means 0 weighting, no weighting. Whatever you get is what you get is what you get. No weighting at all, 0 weighting. And for research, for my lab, I almost always use Z weighting. And for when you are trying to calibrate the sound level meter, you want to use Z weighting. That way you get the raw true data. Am I making sense? A and C weighting attenuates sounds to some extent, depending on frequency. Okay. So let's say I'm gonna choose level for Z weighting fast update, so we can see it update quickly. Okay, and if I don't talk, it's probably 60 something, right? And then when I talk, you see it's responding, right? It's responding. But the three numbers here are too small, and there are three numbers. Which one should I look at? It's confusing. So I usually don't like the first screen. This one is much better. The second page is much better. The first number is big. I know that's the one I need to look at, and that's what I said. Intensity level 0 weighting fast update. And when I'm talking, it's roughly 60 something to 70 something dBSP. Okay, and there are also other numbers you can look at, but okay, so let's see. Okay, so that is probably that. And now let's calibrate. We need to, now we know we have some basic idea of the app, and we need something to calibrate this sound level meter. Right? And there's a device. This device is called acoustic calibrator. According to the description, it will generate 250 Hertz at 114.0, that exact dBSPL. And there is battery inside, and I don't need to open it. You can imagine there's battery inside. It's battery power. There's no cable with it. So when I press the button, there's a button here. When I press the button, can you pass along? And Bree will confirm it's 114 dBSPL, right, Bree?
Yeah.
And Sammy will confirm it's 250 Hertz, right? Because the reason I'm asking that is, don't ask me how to calibrate this calibrator. I don't know. If I making sense? If it will never end. But what I know is this calibrates sound level meter, and this device is built to produce 250 Hertz at 114 dB exact. So, Dr. Jeng, what if the battery is low battery? Will it make the sound softer? No. It is designed that way. Am I making sense? And Dr. Jeng, what if I press the button again? Would I turn off the sound? Let me press again. No. There's no off button. Then how do I turn it off? It will be on forever. No. It will be on for 1 minute, exactly 60 seconds. Am I making sense? So I'll just leave it there, and it should turn off in 60 seconds. And when the battery is low, it will just, the duration will be shorter. The sound will be just shorter than 60 seconds. Say 50 seconds, 40 seconds, 30 seconds, and so on. Until it's very, very short. Then you know, need to replace the battery. However, the sound will always be 250 Hz at 114.0 dBSP exact. Am I making sense? That's the reason it's a calibrator. The output is guaranteed. Does that make sense in terms of frequency and intensity? Longer than 60 seconds. I'll just be patient. Okay. It goes off. It's a long 1 minute. It's gone. Okay. There's no off button. If you try to press it, you will never stop. So now I'm going to connect it onto the calibrator. Okay. And let me put the button. Okay. I'm gonna press the button. Oh. One thing is I cannot hear the sound, which is good. You don't want to hear the sound when it's sealed. If I can hear the sound, it's bad. That means it's not sealed. Am I making sense? The sound is leaking. So I cannot hear the sound. That means there's no leak, which is good. And it reads, okay. I wish it was okay. Let's say it's 113.9, and I need to kind of adjust the app for this. So here is the calibrate. I'm going to calibrate the sound level meter based on this acoustic calibrator output. Am I making sense? And so let's do, and I specified is this model 114.0 dB SPL, 240.0 Hertz exact. Do calibration, and it's doing its job. It's probably calibrating more than I know, but it takes a while. Failed. The sound turned off. It's gonna fail again. Let it fail. Mistake number 2. Because the sound was off, right? I forgot to turn it on. Okay. Just so you remember for a longer time. So when you calibrate, make sure the sound is on. Okay, the difference now is much smaller. So there's a difference, 0.04 dB. And so it's not exact. So I want to save it. Because it tells you something is, something internal within this sound level meter. You can adjust it. Am I making sense? So even though it's off a little bit, you can still use it by doing some adjustment within the sound level meter. Same thing for audiometer. If something is off, as long as it's not broken, you can adjust some correction table inside. Am I making sense? And that's the process of calibration. Same thing for sound level meter. So I'm going to apply this negative 0.04 dB correction factor onto the sound level meter now. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. All right. So calibration done. So now the sound level meter is now calibrated. And again, don't ask me how to calibrate this. I don't know. All right. So now we have this insert earphone, and you really cannot hear it because it's very soft. So let me turn it louder. Insert that. Oh yeah. Trust me, it's there. Trust me, it's there. Can you hear? Okay, okay. Alright, so this sound ammeter, this ammeter is type 2. There are 3 types, at least 3 types. 1, 2, 3. And type 2 is the medium rank. And so, yep. So, what do I do? The sound tube doesn't. Can I just do this? No, right? What should I do? Any comments? Any suggestions? Insert tip? Okay. Yeah. That's a good beginning. I have insert tips. So we will need this. Good job, Bree. We will need this because it's related to that. We need the insert ear tip to calibrate, but still doesn't fit, right? So, have you heard about something coupler in hearing aids? Okay, we need a coupler, right? So let's take a coupler. I have a coupler here. Okay. So this is a 2cc coupler, and when I shovel, when I push this in, it mimics the ear canal volume. From your hearing aid or other classes, is this type 1, HA1 or HA2 coupler? Thank you. Okay. You probably, let me show you the way I remember it. And the way to remember it is to take it apart. I'm a naughty boy. When I got a toy, I take them apart to as much as I could, until I either break it or I'm happy. Does that make sense? Okay. So then I have the base and the ring, and I also have a little piece here, kind of, and then use the ring. Take a deep breath, Dr. Jeng. It's okay, you survive. Okay, this is HA1 because it's much simpler than the other configuration. Am I making sense? So 1 should be simple, 2 more complex. If there is a HA3, does not exist. If there is HA3, it will be much more complex. Does that make sense? 1, 2, 3 should be from simple to complex. So when you look at it, it's very simple, HA1. And the way you calibrate it, you will use this. And it doesn't fit. And the yellow sponge is in the way. So we take out the yellow sponge and look like this. So Bree foresee this already, right? Does that make sense? So you have this black tube, and then connect it onto the coupler, if I can see it properly with my old eyes. Okay, pretend it's in order. You have to do it all the way in, okay, and then shuffle it in, and that's how you use HA1 coupler. And it's very simple, so it's the first style coupler. But this one is troublesome because I could lose this. So over time, I prefer HA2, which is, let me show you the HA2. I try to, if I can remember it, put the ring back on and then put the tip on. Okay, and this portion, the top portion, the inside is just a small tunnel. That small tunnel mimics the tunnel of this sound tube. Does that make sense? And so when I use HA2, I don't need this sound tube. I don't need the ear tip sound tube. And that makes the calibration, I mean, one less device to require is better. Then I can just shuffle it in. And of course, I now will connect the coupler to the microphone amplifier and then make sure it's all the way in. This is very important. I kind of do it to make you laugh for a purpose, so you have to remember it. Because if I don't push it all the way in, the chamber inside may not be 2 cc. It will be slightly bigger, and that will affect the calibration results. Okay, all right. So that, and the sound is ongoing. I can hear it. I cannot hear it. Good thing, it's not leaking. Okay, so now let's do calibration. So 60 dB is at 1000 Hertz is recommended by NC standard. Okay, and let me go to the class. Okay, so NC standard, when you go to it's under canvas modules supplementary material NC standards, we are calibrating. Let me make it bigger. Okay, so you don't need to squint your eyes too much. Okay, 100%. So we are calibrating sound level meter, so that will be NC 1996. Calibration, do you know how old that is? 29 years old. Making sense? So it's definitely out of date. And but the procedure and the concept and the knowledge are the same. Just so you know, there are updated versions for sure. I didn't buy the newer version. You need to buy it. It's not free. I have this one. It's a courtesy when I when I came here, they gave me this, and I didn't pay for it. Don't tell anyone. Okay, so it's a NC standard, and again, when you have a newer version, the same idea applies. And we are going to okay, so let me do the Excel spreadsheet first, and let me create a new one. Okay, so let's start from scratch. The one you saw was my practice this afternoon. So let me write down what I know, and then we will build from there. I know the is 1000 Hertz. I'm calibrating 1000 Hertz, and I'm calibrating. Oh, yeah, and so the first one is I need a heading, frequency in Hertz. Okay, and we need. I know it's 60 dB on dial. Be aware, I'm saying on dial. I'm not saying dB HL because it has not been calibrated yet. Okay, so dB on dial, and it's 60 dB on dial. You don't need to write down anything because everything will be recorded. the problem is the reading from the sound level meter is dB SPL. Making sense? However, for calibration purposes, for calibrating audiometer, the 60 dB on dial, we want it to be dB HL. So we need some way to convert between dB SPL and dB HL. Making sense? So conversion between dB HL and dB SPL, what do we need? Any thoughts? Have you heard about Redspo? Redspo? Okay. So let me open the Redspo. Here you go. So I cheated because I practiced this afternoon. I know it's on page 28. So RESPO here stands for Reference Equivalent Threshold Sound Pressure Level. It's a jargon. Again, when you watch the video for topic 3, it should give you more detailed information. Right now, I'm going to explain it in layman's terms. I'm just going to say it's a correction factor between HL and SPL. Simple as that. HL plus RESPO equals SPL. Is that good? So 60 dB HL plus RESPO number on the table should give me dB SPL. Does that make sense? So in other words, to convert HL to SPL, I simply add RESPO onto the HL number. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm using HA2 coupler. You saw it here, and it's a rigid tube made in metal. We are calibrating 1000 Hertz. So 1000 Hertz is here, and the RESPO value is 0. See this here? I like it. I wish every correction factor is 0. That would be great. So I will take it. So let me go back to my Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to write red RESPO, and it's 0. Okay. And I still, for the on top of the conversion, I still need to consider the microphone effect. This microphone inside the coupler, the microphone is not perfect. It has its own specific frequency response. Maybe we have to take that into consideration. So let me go back to Canvas and go back to supplemental material. It's in alphabetical order, so microphone will be starts with M. Microphone is a half-inch microphone. The first one is it? Open in a new tab. Half-inch microphone. Let me maximize it. Make it even bigger. So the microphone here, we don't care. I don't care about the graph. It's easier to look at the table because we are looking for a specific correction factor. So we are going to look at the column that says actuator. I think I make it obvious here. And look at 1000 Hertz here. 1000 Hertz actuator is 0.02 dB. So that's the correction factor for this half-inch microphone at 1000 Hertz. So I'm going to enter that number. So this will be, say, half-inch microphone effect, and it's 0.02 dB. So now I think I have considered all the possible factors. So then if I add them together, that will be the targeted dB SPL. So I'm gonna add the three numbers together equals sum of the three numbers, dB on dial, response, and microphone response. Add them all together, 60.02 dB SPL. So on the sound level meter, I expect to see the targeted result, which is 60.02. Okay. Now let's go to the sound level meter and make sure the sound is still going. Yep. 60 dB is pretty soft, just so you know that, especially for an old man. And it's not. And it's running around. See? Dr. Jeng, is this mistake number 3? No, I do it on purpose. Just so you will remember it. Because when I was learning how to calibrate, this is one mistake. It took me a while to figure it out. And so the number you see here is the sum of all frequencies. Remember, it's a weighting system. Even though it's Z weighting, it considers all frequency components. And currently there are low frequency components here and high frequency components. They are all added into the calibration, the calculation. And that probably that's the reason it's bigger than 60. Making sense? Because other frequencies are included as well. We don't want that. We just want 1000 Hertz. We don't care about other frequencies for this moment. So let's go to the next page, page 3. Right? And just so you remember it. And so you can see there are several bars, and each bar it has a certain width. And you can see it's 1000 Hertz here. If I select the one on the right, it's 12,000 Hertz. Amplitude is probably 0. On the left is 500 Hertz, 250, 125. Oh, cut in half. See that? So whenever I double it, whenever I go to the next bar, the frequency doubles. Right? 125, the next one, I know at 250. The next one, I know at 500. Every doubling of a frequency is called, what's the terminology of that? The answer is here. Yeah! Does that make sense? Every doubling of a frequency, there's a jargon of here called octave. I don't know why they like to create jargons. So, can you anyway, so on this display is a frequency specific display, but the resolution is 1 octave. In other words, every doubling of frequency. And as you can see, the resolution is not good enough. The bars are pretty thick and wide. So let's move on to another page, page 5. It's also an octave display, but instead of 1 octave bandwidth, it's 1/3 of an octave. You can see the bars are narrower now. It looks better. It has a better frequency resolution. Of course, we want better resolution. Now we are not losing anything. So, as a convention in our field, we almost always use 1/3 octave. So the resolution is good enough. You can do better than that, but 1/3 is usually enough for majority of the thing we do. Okay, and it's 1000 Hertz here, and the reading you can see it, 59.1 dB. See that? It's latency for 1000 Hertz specific, right? It's a slow update, which is fine. Does that make sense? And so it's 59.1 dB. So I'm going to enter my observation into the Excel document. So what I observed, dB SPL on sound level meter is 59.1. Good. So the target is, it should be 60.02, but what I measure is 59.1. What is the difference? The difference is equals target minus the actual measurement on calorimeter is 0.92 dB. The question now is, whether is 0.92 dB within NC standard? There's a term called tolerance. NC standards have certain tolerance. Am I making sense? For type 2 audiometer, it's plus minus 3 dB. So let me write it here. NC tolerance. Let me make it bigger so you don't need to squint your eyes too much. Tolerance is plus minus, but it's hard to type plus minus, just 3 dB. You know what I mean, okay? And then is the result comply with NC tolerance? Yes, right? So comply with NC, question mark. And the answer is yes. Oh, if I can spell it. I get too excited. Okay, does that make sense? So it's good. So the insert earphone from the left channel at 1000 Hz at 60 dB on dial comply with NT standard. Let's do another one. 2000 Hz. Why not? Okay. So let's do 2000. Oh, I don't need to write Hz. Whatever. 2000. I don't need to write Hertz because the heading already has Hertz. Okay, 2000 Hertz. 60 dB on dial, same thing. Response. Let's look up to response. Response is frequency specific, just so you know that. So we have this response, and how do I make it bigger? Yeah, that's the reason okay, here you go. I need this. So we are using HA2 coupler, sorry for the small font size, and 2000 Hertz here. I'll make it bigger here. Okay, 2000. It doesn't like me. Let me go back. Here you go. All right. I don't believe. Here you go. I think I just need to. Today is not my day, is it? How do I
try to download it?
I can download. Yeah. Oh, that's rotation.
I think I saw it was 3.0 for the HA2 coupler.
You see that already?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man. But I haven't seen that. It needs to be recorded so you can watch it offline. Okay. Okay, so 2000 Hertz. Which column? Middle column. 2000 Hertz, 3.0. Here, right? Okay. 3.0. Don't cry. You're good. 3.0. And then microphone response. We need to update that number as well. Microphone response. I don't believe. Here you go. Another one. I dare you to turn black. Here you go. 2000 Hertz. Oh, we don't have 2000 Hertz exact. We have 1995. 2114 Hertz. So the rule of thumb is find the closest one. Okay. So 1995 is closer to 2000. I will use that one, then that's 0.04. And so I will enter that for the half-inch microphone frequency response, 0.04. And then I will copy the formula. And the target is 63.04. That's what I expect to see on sound level meter. Moment of truth. It's still ongoing. Oh yeah, I can see it. I can see it from here because you see the bar here. I have to click on 2000 hertz. See 2000 hertz, and 2000 hertz level slow update 62.6, and I'm going to transfer that number onto the spreadsheet. Now I can compute the difference using the same formula. 0.44. NG standard remains the same, 3 dB. Within this time, I'm going to spell it correctly, right? And now you get the idea. You can do whatever frequency, whatever intensity is the same manner to calibrate your instrument phone. Good. So let me move on to the second transducer, super oral headphone. In the meantime, you feel free to grab any chocolate to eat. And I'm going to swap out transducer. Yeah, I finished them all, so I have excuse to buy new one. I'm just to be honest, that those were left over from the spring semester, so I think they are still good. But
I have a quick question.
Yes.
So you were calibrating the SLM, and you got the 0.04 difference.
Yes.
It's already applied, so you don't have to add it to this Excel.
No, it's already applied. That's the reason I did the calibration. Yeah, yeah. Same thing for audiometer. If you have the ability to, let's say, yeah, that's a good question. The difference they say for 1000 hertz is 0.92 dB. It's within NC standard. Ideally speaking, I don't need to change anything. It's within standard tolerance. But if I want to be very, very perfect, am I making sense? There is a correction table within the audiometer. It is a commercial secret. They actually not gonna tell you because that's how they make their living. Am I making sense? And so they say you know how to access the correction table within this audiometer. They say you know that. Then you can just correct it. 0.092 to correct it, make adjustment accordingly, and then it's perfect on target. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's a jar of different kinds of snacks, and because I need to change I need to change the setup, and so feel free to do anything to kill time. Okay, I think I'm about ready. You continue having your snack, totally fine. So this is the super oral headphones. You know that, and it's very old. I don't use this in the lab for research at all. When I bought the audiometer, it came with it, and I use it for lab purposes. And so when you calibrate super oral headphones, you don't need a headband, but we do need to compensate the force of the headband. I will show you in a moment. But right now, just to know, we don't need a headband for calibration. I take the headband off. And same thing, let's calibrate the left ear. And I'm going to connect it to the left AC super oral channel. And obviously, the previous setup will not work, so because it's very different transducer. So we will need a bigger one like this. It's heavy duty. Yeah. And here is where you insert the preamplifier. And let me get the preamplifier out. Here is preamplifier. And let me do it very gently because the thread is very small and fine. One trick is to do it in reverse, and then you will kind of click and sit in, and then you can do it normally. Okay. I actually heard a little click because I'm very close. You probably won't hear it, but you can feel when you use your hand. You can feel the click. And thread it in, and then make sure the dot is upright. Don't get old. I have trouble. Oh, here you go. I see it now. It's all recorded. How embarrassing. I cannot deny it. I'm getting old, right? So now the preamplifier is in, and this we need to put a 1-inch microphone. It's bigger in diameter, and we have 1-inch microphone, a bigger diameter. And this time I'm gonna show you the diaphragm. So I'm gonna remove the grid, and again I will talk away from it. Have you ever seen a diaphragm microphone before? Okay, mark it. Today is the day. Usually we thread it on and then remove the cover. Okay, so it looks good. And then put this kind of cover on it. And then the chamber inside will be 6 cc exact when I put the super headphone on. Does that make sense? The chamber will be 6 cc. Do not take the cushion out. The cushion is part of the calibration. The cushion is necessary for calibration. Okay. If you take the cushion out, it won't sit properly. Okay. Like this, and it might fall off. So we need a guard to prevent it from falling off, and we need something to mimic the force of the headband. Okay, right? So make sure it's recorded. And so we have a weight. This weight, I think, is 450 grams. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. The video is correct, and the PowerPoint slides is correct. I think it's 450 grams. Without the ring, just so you know that. Without this weight itself, and then it mimics the force of the headband. And put it on. Okay. And we need to change it to Super Aura headphone. And you want to do 2,000 or 1,000? 1,000? Okay. Sold. I mean, you can do whatever frequency you want, right? Am I making sense? And so, but NC recommends 1,000. And let me here. So now we are using a separate transducer. So let me insert a line. So the first portion is for insert. Now we are calibrating Super Aura. Okay, and I'm gonna copy this portion onto the Super Aura portion. Okay, and it's 1,000 hertz, correct? And it's 60 dB on dial, correct? Reachable. We need to update that. It's now a different transducer. So let's go to the reachable, and I know it's table 6. because I look it up before this afternoon. Table 6. I'm going to make it bigger. Wait a minute. How come they are here? Okay. Here you go. Okay. See? It's working. Every time. Every time. Alright. You won. Here you go. Okay. Only one time, not twice. Here you go. So now it's RESPO for supraoral headphones. See that? And this is TDH for the, I think it's 50 TDH. US transducer in the clinic is much more advanced than they don't. I think they don't make this anymore. I think it just retired a couple of years ago. I think. And even for the insert I'm using, they don't make it anymore. Things are getting better and better, but the process and the concept are all the same. So we are looking at the column on the far right. Making sense? And we are at 1000 Hertz. So the RESPO is 7.5. Good. Okay. So 7.5 for RESPO. 7.5. Microphone is no longer ½ inch. It's 1 inch microphone. 1 inch microphone. So we need to look it up. 1 inch microphone. 1 inch microphone. This guy, open it a new tab. Here you go. Seems like if the microphone response is fine. For the 1 inch microphone, you can see it from here. It says, did you anywhere say 1 inch? Here, 1 inch pressure microphone. And we are at 1000 Hertz. Correction factor, microphone frequency response 0. I will take it. Can you see? Oh no, you are right, Bree. So sorry. I wish it was 0. Okay, you got me. So, oh, it's the same. 0.02. So let me. The formula remains same. So the target DPSP is 67.52. And let's see, moment of truth. I need to change it to 1000 Hertz. 82.7. So let me do that. 82.7. Yep. And the difference is negative 15.18 dB. It does not comply for sure. No. Big no. No. Am I making sense? Dr. Jeng, store this audiometer away. It does not comply with ANSI standards. Any comments? Yeah. If you know how to adjust the correction table inside the audiometer, you just adjust it and it's it. It's not like any hardware is broken. Am I making sense? If any hardware is broken, you need to replace the hardware for sure. But assuming no hardware is broken, just adjust it accordingly. The reason it's off so much, I think I bought it 19 or 20 years ago. This audiometer is pretty old. I don't use supraoral headphone in my lab at all. Am I making sense? Why should I care? Am I making sense? I do know how to change the correction table inside it. I'm not going to tell you. but I'm not going to do it because what's the purpose? Just make me feel better. I'm not using it for any except for the demo. But the fact is, of calibration is probably better for demo purposes. Does that make sense? It's not that it's broken. It's just it's off calibration. You can adjust it, and it's all good. And that's how the companies come and do the adjustments every year. So it's off. But if you could adjust it, then you will come back as perfect. Does that make sense? Okay. And that's for the super oral headphone. Good. So let's move on to another transducer, bone vibrator. You have time to get your stacks because I need to change the transducer. Okay, so here is the bone vibrator, and same thing, we don't need the headband for calibration. Put it aside, and I'm gonna plug in to BC slot, and I'm trying to put it on here, but it's not super oral headphone anymore. It doesn't fit, right? Imagine when we do super oral headphones, we put it on the mastoid. It goes through temporal bone. Am I making sense? So we need something that mimics the response of human temporal bone. Does that make sense? And so, can I borrow your temporal bone for a few minutes? Mm-hmm. No, I'm kidding. Okay. I'm kidding you. I'm kidding you. There's no way we can do it. So luckily there is something called artificial mastoid. When I first heard about the term, I thought it looked like a temporal bone because the term is artificial mastoid, mimicking the response of a human mastoid. It must look like a mastoid. When I got this, I thought they gave me a wrong piece. I ordered an artificial mastoid. This is what they gave me. A piece of plastic. You kidding me? So, it's correct. They made it so that the frequency response of this plastic mimics human mastoid. I mean, not exactly the same, but close enough. Does that make sense? So this is artificial mastoid, a piece of plastic. Put it on the 6cc coupler. Now we can put the bone vibrator on it, make sure it's centered roughly, and then put the guard on it, right? And then make sure it's centered, and then put the weight on it. This time we need the ring, so that the total weight is now 550 grams. The bone vibrator headband is tougher. Okay. So let me switch to bone vibrator. Is loud. Even 6 dB is loud. And let's do 500 Hertz because for bone vibrator, low frequency is more representative. It's very loud. You can hear it from the back. So let me turn it off so I have peace of mind. When you get old, you cannot talk against background noise. I mean, when I was young, I don't care, but now it affects me a lot. Okay, so now I'm back on the Excel spreadsheet bone vibrator. Okay, and I'm gonna copy part of this. You will soon realize why I only copy a portion of it. So let me update the content, let's delete everything here. We are now calibrating 500 Hertz, still 60 dB on dial. Reachable. It's no longer reachable. It's called reachable. Let me get to the table. I can tell you what it represents. So I think it's on table here. Just one click. Okay, here you go. Okay, so its reference equivalent threshold force level is how much force of the headband. Am I making sense? And so it's readable. And let's say we put it on mastoid location. And now we'll look at the mastoid column. And we are looking at 500 Hertz. And the readfall is 58.0. See that? And that's a number I will transfer to the Excel spreadsheet. 58.0. 1-inch microphone, same thing. Let me go to the 1-inch mic. And 500 Hertz. Again, we don't have exact 500 Hertz. The closest is 501. And the correction factor is 0. Okay. I love it when it's 0. Okay. You probably know how come I only copy up to here. Anything different I use here than the previous setting. We have the same diameter, we have the same 1-inch microphone. What's added in this setup? Yeah, the artificial mastoid, right? So that artificial mastoid, this piece, I need to consider its frequency response. Correct? Same idea as I consider the frequency response of the microphone, because it's an important component of the setup. So I need to look up for the frequency response of this artificial mastoid. Okay. Okay, so let me look it up. And let me go to canvas. And it's artificial mastoid in alphabetical order. So artificial mastoid here. And here is the manual. It's actually a very nice manual, user manual. It has this is AMC 493. Just so you know that. Don't memorize this. And then this is actually quite nice user manual. When I had this long ago, this manual helps me to get started, and it has very detailed description and pictures. For you don't need to go over the details at all, just so you know that. And let me go through a few pages. So it shows you how to set it up, etc., etc. So if you ever confused, if the video is too difficult to navigate, you can look at this in terms of the bone vibrator calibration. So for this, it's not the purpose here. I want to look at the frequency response. So I think I forgot which page it is. Totally here. One click. Another one. Here you go. Another one. Still safe. You good? So this is the frequency response of that artificial mastoid. And the column we are looking at is the fourth column, AMC 493 response, because that is the model of this, AMC 493. And we are looking at 500 Hertz. So 500 Hertz, column 4, that's negative 12.8. Here. Here. You get the idea. Negative 12.8. Okay, so that's the frequency response of the microphone. So let me write it here. RT. Let's say frequency response of artificial mastoid, and I am going to make it easier to read. Alignment, wrap text, here you go. Hopefully it's easier to read. What was the number? Negative 12.8, right? Okay. You think that's all for this piece? No, you're right. You're not correct. Yeah, you're right. You think it's not the end. You're right. No, it's not the end. Because it's a plastic. We need to consider the temperature and humidity. So what's the temperature in this room? There's a thermometer in the back. Sammy, can you get that thermometer? And then pass it to the front. Okay, you can read. You can. It needs to be recorded. That's the reason. Yeah. Thank you. So it reads 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, 73 degrees Fahrenheit. So let's look up to the temperature response of the artificial mastoid from the menu. And so let me go to the menu, and the next page should be the temperature response. Okay. And sorry, this is the biggest I can make. And so we are at 500 Hertz. So it's this column, and the temperature is here 17. Oh no, it's in Celsius. See that? This is Fahrenheit. Oh no, what do I do? Conversion. So the easiest way is push the button on the back, and now it's in Celsius. Okay. All right. So it reached 24. Is it? Okay, 24. 24 degrees. And look up to the table. 24 degrees here for 500 hertz. Oh, 0.9. You get the idea. 0.9. 0.9 is the temperature response. Temperature response. So temperature response of artificial mastoid. What was the number?
24 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, and what's the correction factor?
0.09.
0.09. Thank you. We need to look out for the humidity effect of artificial mastoid. Okay. And so let's look it up. And it should be the next humidity response. And it's here. And it's the biggest one I can get. So there are three tables. The first table is for 19 degrees Celsius. The second table is for 23 degrees Celsius. The third one for 27 degrees Celsius. I guess we use the one that's closest to 24, right? Is that the rule of thumb? So I will use the second table. And then for humidity, it reads the top one. The top number? 40%. Okay. 40%. Okay. 40%. Oh no. 30, 50, 70, 90. Again, we use the closest, but 40 is right in the middle, between 30 and 50. If this happens, oh, 41 now. Okay, thank you. 41 now. Okay, it's a saver. Now we use 50. It's closer. So we use 50. 50, 500 hertz. 0. Yay! Okay, humidity effect. 0 dB correction. Here you go. Now we have everything in place. And then we can calculate the targeted dB SPL, and equals the sum of everything in front of it. Okay, and then enter. I expect to see 106.1 dB SPL. Does that make sense? Turn it on. Moment of truth. Oh, it wouldn't work if it's not on. Okay. Make sure it's on the center. Okay. Okay. Now it makes more sense. And we are on 500 hertz. 500 hertz. It's a slow update, so it may take a few seconds. In terms of seconds, not minutes. Just so you know that. When you say slow, just a few seconds. 108.8. When you say fast, it's probably 1/16 or 1/22 of a second in that manner. 108.8 dB SPL. Okay. Here you go. I can turn it off. 108.8. 8.8. Okay. And this is dB SPL PL on SLM. Okay. And we do similar thing. Difference. And it's the difference, so it's the target minus measure observed, and then we have the NC tolerance. Okay, let me scroll to the right. I'll make it center a little bit. NC standard, if we refer to the slides. Here, phone vibrator. Oh, I forgot which slide, but I know the formula NC, which slide. This is mistake number 3, I think. Not really mistake. It's just I will just explain it orally, and no, it's not here. Okay. There are 2 formula you should use, and then whichever is the smallest number is the one we will use. The first formula is 3/10 of the step size. Oh no. This is truly mistake number 3. Yeah. The one I just mentioned is the MLO thing. That's a different. Okay, so the
Could you control F?
I think it's the 3 dB. I would say, I want to say it's 3 dB. Yeah. Still 3 dB. Yeah. Okay, let's look at it to a coupler. Bone vibrator. Do we have NC standards here? Yeah, I think it's still 3 dB. It's still 3 dB. It's the same. I mixed up with another calibration. Okay, 3 dB. Let's go back to here. 3 dB. Oh no, it does not comply. No.
Why wouldn't it?
No. Does that make sense?
The difference is negative
Yeah, but the NC sen is plus minus 3 dB.
So it'd be within 3.
Oh, we did. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Ah. When I was practicing this afternoon, it was not. So anyway, I don't use this bomb vibrator anyway. For my research, it's the same idea am I making sense? But if I want to calibrate, I know how to access the correction tape. Then if Lindsay say would do a bomb vibrator EP, then I would, and use this diameter, then I would make adjustment accordingly for this diameter. Does that make sense? But for me, I don't use it, and I think it's probably better leave it like that for demonstration purposes. The insert is calibrated because I use it in the nursery. Okay, so good for this. Okay, so we just finished the one measurement, acoustic output calibration. There are a few others, but the others will be relatively quick, faster. The first one is most complex. So MLO, I need to switch to insert earphone to do this illustration. So you have a few moments. Feel free to continue with your get a snack or check your cell phone, and I will be back when I'm ready. And I will put this back very quietly. Oh, I can do it later. I don't need to waste your time. Okay, I can put it to the side, and I can put it back after class. Okay. Okay, and the bomb vibrator is done. I need to switch back to the insert earphone. Insert left. Half-inch microphone. Do it very gently. You should feel no resistance when you thread it in. And then HA2 coupler, put it in, and then the sound tube. Okay, let's put it out first. I'm going to change it to insert and change it to 1000 Hertz. The next one I'm going to demonstrate is the MLO, which stands for maximum linear output. Here, maximum linear output. It in layman's term is when I turn the knob up 5 dB, does it really go up 5 dB exact? Am I making sense? It may go up, say, 5.1 or 4.8. I want to know how much deviation it is. Does that make sense? And again, if I turn up 5 dB and it actually increase, say, 7 dB, that's off quite a bit. So that's kind of what we meant for the linearity. We want to find the maximum setting that is still within acceptable range. Does that make sense? So let's start from the loudest intensity, the biggest intensity. On this diameter, the highest I can do is 110 at 1000 Hertz for insert. If I go higher than that, it shows me error. So, but for the diameter in clinic, there is much better quality. You likely can go higher than 110, I believe. But for mine, it's type 2. This is the best it can do. Okay. And then, so I will connect. Let's make the sound. You probably can hear it. Okay, it's pretty loud. And let me connect it to the sound level meter. And let's work on the Excel spreadsheet first. Let's open a new tab. And we are gonna write, say, it's 1000 hertz, and it's insert earphone, and we are gonna have dB on dial, and then dB SPL on SLM. Okay. I probably don't need the first line. It's okay. Defaults are smart enough. Okay. So right now the dial shows 110, and I'm going to see what's the dB SPL from the meter. And we select 1000 hertz, and it's 108.8. Okay. And so here 108.8. Right now I am not concerned about the absolute value. We did that just a moment ago. Am I making sense? Right now I'm concerned about when I change it to say 105. Does it really go down 5 dB? That's what I'm trying to calibrate. So now the dial is 105. What's the reading? 103.7. 103.7. And I'm gonna continue. 100. The other way. 100. Give it a few seconds to stabilize. 98.7. 98.7. And then 95. 95. This process is fairly simple. If you have 2 persons, or it's really very, very fast. Me, just 1 person, it looks slow, but it's actually very fast. 93.7, 93.7, and then 90 dB, 90 on dial, and the reading is 88.8. Again, I don't worry about the absolute value now. What I am looking for is the step size difference. 85 dB on dial, reading is 83.8. 80 dB on dial, and the reading is 78.9. 75 dB on dial, and the reading is 73.9. 70 dB on dial, and the reading is 68.9. 65 dB on dial, 65 dB on dial. The reading is 64.0. 60 dB on dial. The reading is, again, if you have two people or if you don't need, it's actually pretty fast. 59.1, 59.1, 55 dB on dial, and the reading is 54.3. Okay, I'm not going. You know how it goes. I'm not going to go. If you go down to very low levels, you deal with background noise. That's a different issue. Yeah. So let's don't deal with that muddy thing first. Let's keep it simple. Okay. So then, what's the? I want to make sure I use the same terminology as I use on the slide, so I don't confuse you for no reason. dB difference. Okay. So dB difference, and change the format so it's easier to read. Okay, dB difference, let's just say on dial minus SPO equals on dial minus SPO. Copy the formula. So these are the differences. Okay, and then let's see what dB deviation. dB deviation from the 5 dB step size. So that will be, say, oh, stupid me, I got the formula wrong. So this is mistake number 4. Okay, so it should be this one minus this one should be so it should be, the deviance should be the first one minus the one under it. Am I making sense? So the deviance should be, this one should be 108.8 minus 103.7. That's the 5 dB difference, and that's what we get. And then we duplicate the formula. The last one we cannot do it because there's no one under it. So this is the step size, and now this is the dB difference. It's not too bad. It's 5.1, 5, 4.9, not too bad. But let's go through the computation. So the deviation will be, say, 5.1, this value minus 5, and so it's 0.1, and let's copy the formula. So the difference is, the deviation is either 0.1 or negative 0.1 or negative 0.2. And again, the question now is what is the NC tolerance? Okay. And the one I messed up was this. There were two options. One option is 3/10 of the step size. So 3/10 step size is 5 dB. Multiply 3/10 is 0.3. 5 multiplied by 0.3 give you 1.5. So first option is 1.5 dB plus minus. Second option is just 1 dB. Simply 1 dB. So these two numbers, you use the smaller one. So in this case, 1 dB is smaller. So we go with that. So in other words, in this case, NC tolerance is 1 dB. Okay, it's 1 dB plus minus. And I'm gonna 1. Okay. And then Here you go, it's 1 dB. And then let me make sure I use the same terminology. Within tolerance. Oh, okay. MAO. So within tolerance. So these deviations are all within 1 dB. So they are all yes. And see if I can duplicate that. Okay. So MAO in this case is the maximum number on dial. In this maximum number on dial, in this case is this number. Let me make it obvious. So this is the MAO. So in this case, all the step size is within the existent. Does that make sense? And so, but of course, it would not be fun if everything is that good. So on the slides, when you watch the videos in the following week, you will see it. I did it on purpose. So in this case, they say from 110 to 105, the deviation is 1.4 dB. It goes beyond the tolerance. That's a big no-no there. Then in this case, what is MLU? MLU is the yes on the highest location continuously. So Dr. Jeng, 115 has the highest yes, but it's not continuous. It got interrupted by 110. So continuously, yes, which one is the highest? In this case, it's 105. Making sense? Yeah. So this is how you calibrate the linearity of the step size, and in other words, maximum linear output. Bear with me. The last one. The last one is called frequency accuracy. So let me connect it to a different device. Now we need to see the frequency content. So I hope you can see this. Because of the display, you can only see it from a specific angle, and I don't know if it can be recorded. Probably not. So can you see it okay from that angle? Okay, then I need to, okay, then I will go around it. So let me reset. Okay. Alright, so we need a cable to connect between the sound meter to the oscilloscope. This is called oscilloscope. It shows the time waveform, and from there we can measure amplitude, periodicity, etc., etc. So we need a cable like this, and then one end goes to the back of the sound level meter, and it gives you the AC and DC components of the sound wave. And of course, we only care about the AC component. We don't care about the DC in this example. Let's plug it into channel 1. Okay. Can you still see it? Okay. Okay. And then I cannot see it. Okay, so this is 1000 hertz insert earphone. I'm gonna make it loud so you can see the waveform more better. Okay. Let me see if I. Okay, the sound is coming out. Going there. Going here. Okay, you see something is going. But it's hard to understand. So there are so many buttons. One button I like is auto set. Easy, huh? Really, I'm not kidding you. So this is auto set. And then it comes up. Magic! Right? So, I mean, obviously, then from here, then we can manipulate it manually. It shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cycles of 1000 hertz, supposedly. And so I want to zoom in so I can measure the location of the peaks more precisely. Does that make sense? So let's see if I can do it right. Horizontal. Here you go. Yep. Now I can see like two peaks properly. And then I want to measure, and so I need to move cursor. Type, correct? You see two vertical lines? Are you able to see that? Okay. The first one, let me move it to align with the first peak as much as I could. And then the second cursor, move it to align the peak as much as I could. Okay, here you go. So the two peaks I aligned to the best of my ability. And it shows you the interval between the two peaks. And here it reads 1.010 millisecond. Okay. So then here comes the computation. Hang there, this is the last one. I just feel like I need to show you oscilloscope. Kind of, at least you have a general idea how it works and what it is. Okay, and here I'm gonna use a Word document, and let's see. So the let's say the expected frequency is 1000 hertz. Again, we expect the allimeter to produce 1000 hertz. Okay. And then we want to know the periodicity, and let's do expected periodicity. And it's 1/1000, right? Okay, and that's 0.001 second. Oh. Right? And of course, we don't use second here. We use millisecond, as you can see. Let's use second. I think it's a bit. Yeah, let's use second. So that when you convert to hertz, it's automatic. Okay. Okay. So we. Then what do we observe here? The observed periodicity is 1.010 millisecond. Yep, that's correct. Okay, trust me, that's correct. It cannot be recorded. Okay. The thing is, we need to convert it to a second. So it's divided by 1000, I think, right? So I need to add zeros in front of it. 0.001010 second. Move the decimal point to the left 3 times. I don't think I know how to spell second today. Can someone use a cell phone and let's do the so observed frequency equals 1 over observed periodicity, and that is 1 over 0.001010. Can someone help me and see what is the number? One over 0.001010.
990.
990.
Point 09901.
099. 01 hertz. Okay. So does that make sense? So when you are watching the videos and slides or studying for the quiz or even the exam, make sure you convert it to second. Does that make sense? The conversion between hertz and second is straightforward. The problem is you need to, if you see anything that is not second, change them to second before you convert it to hertz. Okay? Okay. And then so now we have the formula of the frequency accuracy is here. Observed frequency minus expected difference divided by expected. Okay, good. So we are gonna do that on the Word document. So frequency accuracy equals observed. Yeah, let me just write it. Observed frequency minus expected frequency, and then divided by expected frequency. Okay, good. And then I'm going to continue writing it. Let me put it here, and it will be 990. Let's say 990 hertz. Make it simple. Minus 1000, and then divided by 1000. Good. So 990 minus 1000 is negative 10 divided by 1000. Good. And then that will give me negative 0.01. Okay, and that is negative 1%, essentially 1%. Okay, and now what is the NC standard? What is the NC tolerance for frequency accuracy? It's very simple. Type 1 are diameter 1%, type 2 are diameter 2%, type 3 is 3%. Easy. For the quiz, you don't need to memorize it, or for the exam, if I ask you anything like this, all these tables, NCs, you don't need to memorize anything. All the tables, including tolerance, will be provided. You just need to understand the concept and how to proceed from there. Okay. So NC standard, NC tolerance is 2%. Okay, for type 2 alien. So and then so it is within tolerance. So in terms of frequency, when it says 1000 hertz, it actually produces 990 hertz, but it's okay. Am I making sense? Just so you know that the mistake likely is coming from how I place the cursor. The oscilloscope does have a function to show you, to compute the frequency by itself, which is much more accurate. I skipped that part so that you know the process. Does that make sense? Okay. I believe if I do the actual measurement using the oscilloscope, it will be closer to 1000 than 990. Okay. And when you watch the videos the coming days, this one is, since I have this new sound level meter 3 years ago. 3 years ago, yeah, it was very expensive. I was almost bankrupt. I could not afford to buy another sub-module for harmonic distortion. Am I making sense? Previously, I inherited the old sound level meter from the school. It was like free. But when I purchased this, I cannot afford that sub-module. That's the reason I cannot show you. But you could do it manually if you want, even though I don't recommend it. You can see all the harmonics. You have 1K, and then 500 Hertz, 250, etc. You have all the harmonic amplitude. You can just write them up, measure them, add them all together, and you have it. Does that make sense? So, but I'm not going to, I cannot do it with the new sound. I still keep this concept because it's somehow important for calibrating audiometer. Okay, I still want you to have the concepts. Okay. Thank you for your patience and tolerance. I made 4 mistakes, I think, right? And yeah, anything else you want to talk? Okay, and let me stop the recording, and then you can speak from your heart. Let me see. Stop the recording.